Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I wish you all a very happy and a blessed Ramadan. And on the occasion of the birthday of our second Imam, Imam Al-Hasan alayhi salam, I would like to congratulate all of you and all our viewers who are watching Hidayat TV from the team of Hidayat. A very happy and a special day, and thank you all for joining us on Youth Matters Ramadan special, and I pray that all of you are keeping in good health, inshallah. 14 centuries ago, one man made the ultimate stand. He gave up his life for dignity, equality, and justice. He changed the course of history and inspired generations. That man is Hussein, the hero of all heroes.
Who is Hussein is a social justice movement with grassroots teams in over 90 cities worldwide, spanning 5 continents. We strive to build a more compassionate and caring society with justice and dignity for all. Our teams host community events to help those most in need, from food drives for the hungry and helping the homeless, to organizing blood donations and other selfless initiatives, helping those most vulnerable in society. Our passionate volunteers around the world are inspired by the timeless legacy of a man called Hussein. Hussein gave everything for the betterment of his society. Since launching in 2012, through the efforts of our award-winning volunteers, we have fed thousands of people and helped thousands more. Our teams have been featured in dozens of media outlets worldwide in recognition of their efforts. Our aim is to empower individuals like you to take action and, like Hussein, make a positive change in the world.
Since its small beginnings in 2012, Who is Hussein has rapidly grown into a global movement with teams in over 90 cities across the world. Inspired by the timeless legacy of Hussein ibn Ali and the values that he stood for, those of compassion, justice, and dignity, Who is Hussein volunteers organize events to give back to their local communities, ranging from organizing blood drives, helping the homeless, caring for the elderly and orphans, and much more. Today's episode is very unique because we bring to you 3 profound leaders of the Who is Hussein organization, and they will be talking about the values that are instilled by Imam Hussein in helping the ones in need even when we are faced with limitations. Without much further ado, I would like to welcome and introduce my 3 guests on Youth Matters Ramadan special. My first guest is Sister Tahira Sajan. She is from Arusha, Tanzania, and is a very compassionate and eager leader who joined Who is Hussein in 2014. She was honored with a recognition at the Global Representatives Conference Seminar in the year 2016. Then we have Sister Samina Sabir, who is from Maryland, USA. When she first joined, she was the head of the team in Orange County, Southern California, USA, and then moved to Maryland, USA. She has been with Who is Hussein for the past 4 years as a team lead. And last but not least, we have Sister Zohra A. Rajpar, who is the co-country head of Who is Hussein Pakistan since 2015. Prior to the formation of Who is Hussein Pakistan, Sister Zohra was appointed as the Karachi representative for Who is Hussein in 2013 and is responsible for expanding into 13 city chapters across Pakistan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you all. It is an utmost pleasure having you all with us on this platform, and thank you for taking out your precious time and joining us on Youth Matters Ramadan special. So inshallah, my first question will be for Sister Stamina. Can you tell us what inspired you to volunteer as a leader towards the organization of Who is Hussein?
So the central message of just building compassionate communities really resonated with me. There are countless lessons that we can learn from Imam Hussein, but one major takeaway for me was to always care and to be compassionate for those around me, especially to advocate and provide for those who are in situations where they can't do it themselves. We have to be a voice for the voiceless, and that's what Who is Hussein is really about, is to just care for those around you, be there for each other, build a supportive community. So that's what inspired me.
Thank you. That really is a very beautiful inspiration. Thank you for sharing that with us. For Sister Tahira, my question goes to you. Mashallah, you are representing the Arusha team. So tell us that what activities do you and your team plan on? What are your objectives and aims? Can you just list them out?
Our main objective and is to help humanity at large. Our purpose is to build caring, compassionate communities which are inspired by the legacy of Hussein ibn Ali and the values he stood for, those of compassion, justice, and dignity. We do this by planning and carrying out programs, events on our local society here in Arusha, and then we give awareness of Hussein ibn Ali. The main things which we do, okay, the activities which we do usually are the medical support, which we support everyone, those who need help every monthly, and also we arrange medical camps, a yearly program. We do blood drives. We support elderly people, old age center. We support orphanages, donating books to schools, the food and water distribution. Also, we have house rental support. We also empower women and we help them with financial support. So once we give them that support, and then they start their own business. Alhamdulillah, with the help of Allah, we have been doing much more, and we are trying to do some more activities. We are also at the moment, we have already done about giving water to villages, whereby we have put some tapes from the river, because rivers, they go to the river to collect water. So we have arranged such pipes that they go from there, and now they can get the water, clean water, up at their house, near their houses, and they don't have to go down to the river. And another project, yeah, the way I mentioned, we also have wells which we have done, and we are again doing one more soon, inshallah.
Thank you, Sister Tyra, for sharing this. We do understand what your real main aim is, and of course, Imam Hussein is an inspiration to millions of people around the world. Alhamdulillah. My next question goes to Sister Zora from Pakistan. Mashallah, you have a very unique position that you are the co-country head of Pakistan. That is a very big responsibility. I commend you for that. How do you manage to carry out these activities in terms of what really goes on behind the picture, like what planning goes on behind the picture, and in terms of donation?
Thank you, Sakina. Thank you for having us today as guests for your program. So basically, in Pakistan, as you have told the viewers also, that we have about 13 cities. And all these 13 cities, when they plan their events, they make a budget for their events. And then there's a shout out on for donations. So we call for donations on all our social media handles, and also to family, friends, and volunteers in our groups. And basically, almost every time before our events, all the donations are collected, Alhamdulillah. And sometimes we have a lot of excess remaining, and then we plan our second event. And that is how, after the donations are collected and we have enough funds, we carry on our events in different cities.
Okay, that really makes sense. But I'm sure a lot of hard work goes on behind the picture. It's not easy.
Yes, definitely. And we have, mashallah, 14 teams, and we have about 4 to 500 volunteers all over Pakistan. And they put in a lot of hard work to plan the events, give ideas, plan the strategy, and then go on ground to, have the events carried out.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that information with us. As for you, Sister Samina, when you do these annual blood drives and interfaith events and feeding the needy and the homeless, what is the response and the atmosphere by the non-Shia communities?
So we always get a really, really wonderful response from like non-Shia communities, non-Muslim communities. We work with like so many different people all the time, and most of our events in our area specifically are geared towards aiding the homeless population. And we regularly work with church groups and different faith groups. And our number one question is always like, who is Hussein? Like, who is this person? So it always sparks like a really interesting, beautiful dialogue. There's always similarities found between different faith groups, and it just bridges a lot of gaps and misconceptions that are out there. Um, Currently, we're working on donating hygiene kits to one shelter. Yesterday, we donated like lunch bags to another shelter. So we're really all over the place in Maryland. But it helps like going around different places in Maryland and having those conversations. So it's always been wonderful.
Alhamdulillah, that is so glad. I mean, that's so nice to hear that, mashallah, yesterday you were still so active, sending out all this. Alhamdulillah, mashallah, may Allah give us the tawfiq to carry on with such, what do you say, like with such tasks. Uh, not only because it is an Imam Hussein organization, but just because it is something to do with humanity, right? So Alhamdulillah, may Allah bless us more with that, inshallah. I mean, now I have a question for all of you. So I'll be asking you one by one. So I'll start with Sister Tahira first. If you were to describe the qualities required by a Who is Hussein's team member, what would those three words be? So just three words.
Okay, thank you. I think it will be awareness, dedication, and commitment.
MashaAllah, that was so prompt and such lovely describing words you chose. It's very true. We need to have that awareness that starts from within. So it is very important to be aware of your aim. What do you really want to do? Why are you doing this, right? Yeah. The next question goes for Sister Samina. I mean, the same question, but for you. That if you were to describe the qualities required by a Who is Hussein's team member, what would those three words be for you?
I would say kind, passionate, and a team player.
Team player. I really like that because a lot of work goes on with a good team. If you have a good supportive team, then the outcome and the result is always positive. So I think teamwork really plays a very important role, a very vital role in Who is Hussein organizations. Now the same question goes for Sister Zohra. If you were to describe the qualities required by Who is Hussein's team member, what would those three words be?
So, number one would be sacrifice, honesty, and selflessness.
Selflessness. I really like that a lot. It is true that to be selfless in today's world is very difficult because most of us usually tend to think about ourselves first. We prioritize ourselves first. But that's the uniqueness about the Who is Hussein organization, that you go out of your way to see happiness in other people's faces, literally. Like those simple smiles just make your day, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, now I have another question for, again, the three of you. So I'll be asking Sister Tahira, what are the challenges that go through for you as a leader while, planning for a particular program or activity, and how do you then tackle the outcome?
Thank you. Our challenge mostly is to have a very committed volunteers. Alhamdulillah, we have been blessed to have few of them who are very committed. But when we have a big, larger scale program, it gets very difficult when you don't have a committed volunteers. And during this time, especially, we have many of our volunteers who are elderly in the group. So we really have to be careful, and they hardly participate because of just now the situation like that. But otherwise, this is the main thing. Like every time, whenever we have a program, we have to look into volunteers. But Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Almighty, we always have some who are ready to volunteer, and our programs go successful. But those are the real hard working ones. So I wish that we had more committed volunteers, so it would not be a one man show program.
Very well said. I agree with you, and that's why I mentioned earlier that teamwork really plays a vital role in a Who is Hussein organization or any other organization. You need to have committed volunteers to make the work stand out. Now, my question goes for Sister Stamina. Again, that what are the challenges that you go through as a leader while planning for such events?
So one challenge that we kind of face is sometimes we want to do such big, like large scale events, but sometimes we don't have enough time. Sometimes there aren't enough resources. So and this goes for like our whole team. Alhamdulillah, like our whole team, they're so dedicated. They always have like the best ideas. But sometimes we just have to like refocus and think about what is our goal for this event? What is our goal for the long term, for the short term, and just kind of refocus. And then we have to pick certain events that align with our focus for the year or focus for the next 6 months. So we really just have to think about what we can and are able to do.
All right. Now the same question goes for Sister Zora. What is your opinion? What are the challenges that you go through while planning for a particular program or activity?
So basically, in Pakistan, usually we have few challenges, but the most important two challenge that I face is number one is making and designing and also planning the event in a way that we can make people be aware about who is Hussein, what Imam Hussein did, and what is our aim and objective in doing all these activities. So it is
Mm-hmm.
very difficult that when you to give gifts, for example, in an orphanage, but you want to tell them about who is Hussein. So we have to
Yeah.
design a program in a way that it is interesting for the children, and it's very hard sometimes to explain to children when they are not from the same community. And number
Yeah.
two is also putting the team together according to their skills and talents. So, as Tyra mentioned, it's very difficult to get dedicated volunteers on ground. Sometimes people commit, but they don't turn up. So, it's really very difficult sometimes to depend on so many people, and maybe some of them don't turn out, and then the rep or the person heading the team has to do maybe two or three odd jobs also to make the event
Yeah.
successful. These are the two most important challenges we face here in our country and in all our chapters.
Yeah, I can totally agree with you, and I can imagine how difficult the challenges are sometimes. It's not easy to design and plan on a project, put in so much effort, and then we have all these challenges that come in through to make it a success. Yeah, it's very difficult. I understand. Now my question goes to Sister Tahira. Uh, since it's the month of Ramadan, and obviously a lot of ongoing projects take place every day. I'm sure that Huiz Hussein always has like unique ideas to even do things during this holy month of Ramadan. So, Sister Tara, I would like to know from you that what have your latest projects been in this holy month of Ramadan?
Holy month, we started with on the 12th of April. It was Street Children's Day, and so it was along with Mahi Ramadan. So we took breakfast and we served the street children with breakfast. And also we have started to dig a well, and inshallah soon we are going to start the opening, and we are furbishing a house for a needy family, and we are also supporting in those medical issues. There are some people who have problem in medical support. So this has been our every month we have been doing that, and we also are planning to have a children's team who are making cards to prepare for the gifting the orphans, and we have been distributing food baskets to the needy people, to many of the families, and also most of them are old people, and we really appreciate it when we see the smiles on their face, especially the old one. So we have been going there, and alhamdulillah, last week we just managed to serve 40 families, alhamdulillah.
Mashallah, that's a very good number, mashallah, because Arusha has a very small population, but the fact that you managed to send out 40 baskets, that's a very good number, mashallah. As you said, that the smile on their faces, right? That the beams on their faces makes one so happy that Alhamdulillah, they're so happy and pleased, and may Allah accept our amals. Alhamdulillah, that's very nice. Sister Zohra, my question to you would be, as you mentioned that Pakistan has been going through this severe pandemic, and so many challenges had to come in the way. So how has the pandemic limited Huiz Hussein, and what has changed in the last 2 years for you as a leader due to COVID-19?
Yeah, so since the pandemic started end of March 2020, the most important thing is that we cannot gather a large number of people always for events as we used to do before. And also, our volunteers are limited in gathering or going together to distribute even grocery bags or any gifts or planning an event. So we have
Yeah.
tried to manage in the pandemic according to the government SOPs, and we have
Okay.
tried to distribute as many gifts and grocery bags as we could. And you will be amazed to hear that basically in this time of pandemic, who is in Pakistan
Yeah.
did the most in their life history.
Mashallah.
So,
That is
so we
something huge.
distributed,
Mashallah.
yeah, distributed 22,000 grocery bags all over Pakistan. We are this Ramzan. We are doing about few hundreds in Karachinar and Islamabad and some in Karachi. We distributed PPE kits about more than 8,000 last year, and this year we've
Wow.
done 5,000. We've distributed medical equipments, 7,300 equipment in different hospitals, general hospitals, small clinics, and even villages where they have very small clinics and hospitals. We have also given blood to children this pandemic, and Huiz Hussein totally has donated over 500 blood pints in this 1.5 year. So, and
Mashallah.
we have
Mashallah.
spent in all these projects, we have spent more than 2 crore rupees, and we have,
Okay.
Alhamdulillah, done very well with our donations, collections, and even delivering to the public, trying to help this.
Mashallah, Sister Zora, I really commend you for all the efforts that you put in, arranging and organizing all of it. I mean, it really needs, you can say, an iron lady, mashallah, I would call you. All of you, mashallah. I think, people should take inspiration from you leaders as well, that, you know, coming up with such ideas and bringing people on one platform under the name of Who is Hussein organization, it's really something big. I really commend all of you for your efforts. May Allah bless you with more, give you more tawfiq to continue with this amazing task, with this amazing work that you are doing. And inshallah, Allah will reward you for all of this. So I just have one last question for Sister Samina. Just if you could give 2 to 3 advices to our viewers in how to always be involved throughout with Who is Hussein despite this pandemic.
So I would say go to our website, whoishussein.org. And on there
Okay.
you can you can find what events are happening like in your area. They're really active on like Facebook, Instagram. Like you'll always see different things going on. That's my first piece of advice. My second piece would be if you want to do something, if you feel committed and passionate about helping even your neighbor or a family member or your friend, anyone who needs that care and assistance, just go and do it. And Who is Hussein has resources like on their website that you can use. Obviously, you can get involved with the local chapter first, but there's a ton of resources on the website that you can look at. And again, on the Facebook and Instagram page, there's tons and tons of events that you can take inspiration from on how to like set up your own event or work with the chapter. And no act of kindness is too big or too small. And really in this pandemic, that's the whole point, is just go and care for those who aren't able to do it for themselves. As so many people are struggling right now. And that's where Hussein comes in. Like, in Arusha and in Pakistan, they're doing so much. And so I would just say, if you feel passionate about something, if you want to just help, just go out and do it safely, wear a mask and everything, but just be safe about it.
Thank you so much, Sister Samina, for sharing those amazing advices with us. I'm so happy that all of you have come to this show and have shared what really goes on behind Who is Hussein and what inspired you. That's the most important thing. Like, what really drove you into being being a leader for Who is Hussein. So Alhamdulillah, I think you really enlightened us. You enlightened the viewers. I'm sure that all of us really enjoyed today's session. As for now, obviously, I have a surprise for all of you. So I have been doing this in my last programs as well. And because it's the holy month of Ramadan, I always like to bring in a bit of fun and flavor. So since it's the birthday of our second Imam Hassan alayhi salam, I have prepared a surprise quiz for all of you. So they're very good quiz questions. I'll be asking each of you randomly, and inshallah will benefit from this, inshallah, and also our viewers will benefit out of this, inshallah. So I'll just be asking randomly, and inshallah, who gets the most correct answers will be the winner of the program. So it's not a competition, but
Arabin, can we get some donation?
yeah, definitely we'll see, inshallah. Okay, so my first question goes to Sister Tahira. Imam Hassan alayhi salam was born on, and I can give you MCQs and you get to choose. So you can tell me the correct answer. Number 1, is it 15th of Ramadan 6 AH, the 15th of Rajab 3 AH, 15th of Ramadan 3 AH, or 15th of Rajab 6 AH?
15th of Mahe Ramadan 3 AH.
That's the correct answer. So I wanted to confuse you there with the AHs. I know it's so difficult to always
I was
remember the
thinking
after
that.
hijras, but you got it right. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, the next question goes to Sister Samina. The title of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam is what? Al-Murtada, Al-Mustafa, or Al-Mujtaba?
Al-Mujtaba.
That's correct. Al-Mujtaba. Of course, we all know that his full name is Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba. Yes, that's correct. You get it correct. Okay, the next question goes for Sister Zohra. Uh, who were his siblings? So he had a lot of siblings, and I'm going to give you their names, and you get to choose. Bibi Zainab, Bibi Kulthum, or Imam Sajjad, or Imam Hussein.
Bibi Kulsum, Bibi Zainab, and Imam Hussein and Hazrat
That's the
Abbas.
correct answer. Yes, thank you so much. You got it all right. Mashallah, you are all you have a lot of good knowledge, all of you. I think all of you are going to get the correct answers. Now for Sister Tahira, the ruler during Imam Hassan's time was Yazid, Muawiyah, Abu Sufyan, or Shimr.
You're giving me all historical questions, and I'm very bad in history,
Oh,
but well, I think it was Muawiyah.
yes, it is correct. It was Muawiyah. Alhamdulillah, you're getting all of them right. The next question goes for Sister Samina. Imam Hassan reminded the Muslims not to forget the advice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to hold on to two things so that they will not be misguided. What are those two things? Number one, Quran and Ahlul Bayt. Number two, Torah and Zabur. Number three, Majlis and Azadari. Or number four, Akhlaq and spirituality.
Quran and the Ahlul Bayt.
That's the correct answer. It's Quran and the Ahlul Bayt. Okay, now for Sister Zohra. Imam Hassan has said, whoever recites the Quran all the time, number one, his or her prayers will be answered sooner or later. Or the second option is, he will be successful in life. Or the third MCQ is, he will become rich.
So I think 1 and 2.
1 and 2, okay. Yes, you got it right. But the most correct answer, like the 100% answer, is that he will be successful in life, but also that, yes, their prayers will get accepted sooner or later. So you got it right. Now for Sister Tahira. The Quran is a light of light and a cure of health. Is it true or false?
Of course, it's true.
It's true, of course. The Quran is the nur and the light of light, and it is definitely a cure of health. Yes. Okay, for Sister Samina. Imam Hassan alayhi salam said, 3 things destroy a person. So there are a couple of MCQs, and you get to choose. Number 1, pride. Number 2, greed. Number 3, laziness. And number 4, jealousy.
Oh, can we pick more than one answer?
Yeah, you can. You get to.
Okay, I would say jealousy and laziness and greed. I feel like all of them in a way.
Yeah, yes, actually all of them. So because the question asked for 3 things, you get to choose any 3, but all of them are correct, whatever you choose. Yeah. So it can be pride, greed, laziness, as well as jealousy. Thank you, Sister Samina. You got that right. Okay, now we have the other question for Sister Zora. Imam Hassan alayhi salam is buried in Karbala, Janatul Baqi, Mashhad, or Kalmain?
Janatul Baki.
Yes, the answer is Jannatul Baqi in Madinatul Munawwara, and that is where Imam Hassan alayhi salam is buried. You got that right, Sister Zora. Well done. Now for
Thank
the
you.
last question, I'm going to be posing it to all the three of you. So for this question, whoever answers first is the winner of the program. So in less than a second, okay? And I want the full name, okay? What was the name of Imam Hassan alayhi salam's wife who poisoned him?
Joda binti Ash'ash.
Very good. The winner of the program is Sister Tahira Sajan because she got the full name correct. And for this question, I didn't want to give any MCQs because it was a surprise pop-up question. So thank you so much. The correct answer is Jurda bint Ashath, and she was the one who poisoned Imam Hassan alayhi salam. So congratulations to Sister Tahira. You are the winner for today's quiz. And also thanks to Sister Samina and Sister Zohra for being a part of this program. And I hope you enjoyed the quiz questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Thank you so much. And all of you are winners. We all together, we all got same.
Yes, definitely. We are all winners in the eyes of Allah. May Allah bless us more in this holy month of Ramadan so we can do more good deeds and more amals, and may Allah accept all of our amals, inshallah. Thank you so much for coming and joining me on this program. I would once again like to humbly thank you, the Who is Hussein leaders, Sister Tahira from Arusha, Tanzania, Sister Samina from Maryland, USA, and Sister Zohra, the co-country head of Pakistan. Thank you once again for joining us, and inshallah, we will have you again and again on our programs, inshallah. Thank you, and Khudafis. So thank you all of you for joining today's program. I hope all of you enjoyed this session. And of course, we got to learn so much. We now know that what Who is Hussein really is all about, the aims and the objectives that the organization does. So inshallah, I hope that we get to benefit and we can, volunteer, and also just on a humanity basis, we can help the homeless and the needy in this special holy month of Ramadan. So inshallah, we can even just do, like for example, we can give sadaqah, or we can just feed a homely, a needy person, or we can just be kind to our neighbors, inshallah. Thank you so much, and see you next week again with an interesting episode on Youth Matters Ramadan special. Same time, 12 p.m. Thank you so much, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.